Good morning, everybody. It's Joey and Maria.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
You're watching VegasDtech and DJI. You're watching VegasDtech, and today, guys, we're back out with another e-bike review. I happen to have my truck out here today, and I have the Jansno X70. It's sitting in the back of the truck right here. I'm going to go ahead and get it down on the ground. We'll have a look at it. Then we'll take it out here. It's about 5:24 this morning at Lake Mead, and we'll ride it around the lake, do a review on this bike, and see just how good it performs. Alrighty, guys, so we're gonna have a look today at the Jansno X70. Now, the Jansno e-bike corporation, they were the second e-bike corporation that I ever did an e-bike review on. I did one review on them on their very first bike, which was the X50. And then they were kind enough to reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to review the new X70. And the biggest difference between the two bikes, guys, is that this one is a dual battery bike. Let's have a look at it. All right, so Maria and I are gonna go ahead and jump on these bikes here. We're down below the visitor center at the staging area, and we're gonna take off and head towards the Marina, which is down here. There's a little bike path. We're gonna head down towards the fish cleaning station where I normally do these e-bike reviews, and we'll hop off and I'll show you all the specs and features of this bike. And then we will take it on the runs all along Lake Mead right here and test it out and see just how it performs, guys. So let's go. Alrighty, guys, so here we are on the Jansno X70 long range all-terrain e-bike. And the first thing that I have to say on this bike is, man, what a comfortable bike this is. And I got to air up these tires here last night. These got the big fat Chaoyang 4-inch wide all-terrain tires that are gonna be good for this type of terrain, as well as we decide that we want to go off-road into the rocks and so forth. I'm in pedal assist number 3, and I'm in gear number 7. And I don't really have to do very much pedaling because the ground out here is so flat. But out here, guys, this bike can do 28 miles per hour unlocked. I'm going to show you exactly how that comes. Right now, out of the box, it comes as a class 2, and it's going to limit you between 15 miles an hour, but I think it's around 15 miles an hour is where it limits you out of the box. And then if you unclip one wire, it'll unlock the bike to class 3, and then we can take this bike all the way up to 28 miles per hour if you want to ride throttle only. So as far as the range is concerned, you got a 20 amp hour battery on top and a 14 amp hour battery on the bottom, which is going to give you 34 amp hours total. And the website suggests that if you're doing a combination of pedaling and using power assist, probably power assist 1, they suggest over 120 miles of range. But I don't know, in real world tests, you know, where you have hills, slopes, climbs, and grades, what will you actually get? I don't know. I've seen many reviewers say that throttle, just straight throttle alone, going maximum speed, which is 28, and they say the bike can hold that speed the whole way, that they can ride 28 miles per hour for between 38 and 40 miles. You know what I mean? 38 to 40 miles, guys, on maximum power. You know, that's pretty darn impressive. You know, with this bike right here, guys, it's very confidence inspiring because you got the dual terrain tires. You know, and so if you just happen to come off here into the dirt, you know, you can handle it. You don't worry about little teeny stuff. And then, of course, you come back up onto the road. And these tires right here happen to have what's called hippo skin. And the hippo skin actually has an additional layer of protection to help you from punctures. I didn't get a chance to treat these tires yet. Normally, if I'm going to come out to this type of terrain, I normally treat the tires with some sort of a sealant, and then I bring an inflator with me as well. But I did not get a chance to do any of that. Maria has it. I don't happen to have it. Maria's bike is made by Electric, and they treat their tires with a slime sealant before they send it out. But just as a safety precaution, guys, I would recommend you buy some type of sealant. Flat Out makes a very good product. I normally put like a quarter of the bag into each wheel, and that stays in there in a semi liquid state, and it constantly circles around your wheel, and that will prevent any kind of punctures. It'll automatically run to that hole and seal it for you, and then all you need to do is bring an inflator to help get your wheel back up if you happen to get flat. But here we are, guys. We're out at the fish cleaning station, bright and early here, 6 a.m. at the Lake Mead Marina, which is down below, and oh my goodness, got a whole bunch of fish scaling going on down here. But this is where we're going to do our review on this bike right here, and I'm going to show you the specs and features of the Jansno X70. Alrighty, guys, so let's have a walk around of this bike real quick before we actually talk about the specs. And just, you know, what are your overall impressions of this bike? The first thing that I had to question was, I don't understand the color scheme that Jansno decided on this bike. This bike is kind of a custard yellow. I don't really know what was going on with that because there's so many million colors that they could have made for this bike, and the custard yellow, I don't know. I mean, being that they only offer this bike in one color, I don't know why that was the one that was preferred. I mean, generally a black, a light gray, a metallic gray, or even a pearl white would have been perfect, you know, if that was going to be the only solo color. But overall, man, this thing is built kind of like a dirt bike, and it rides like a dirt bike as well. I like the big beefy tires. I'm always a big fan of the mags. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I love the mag tires that are on the bike. The sidewall, you know, kind of the retro sidewall is cool. And then, of course, you take a look at the twin batteries, and that top battery is pretty awesome, man, because they have it shaped like an actual motorcycle fuel tank, right? Then they got the gull wing handlebars here, which makes it ride kind of like a beach cruiser. Took me a while to get used to it because all my other handlebars are kind of straight, but that's a small thing because you could always, you know, change the handlebars out yourself. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Starting with the batteries, you're going to have a dual battery option here. It's going to come with a 20 amp hour battery on top, 48 volt, and another 14 amp hour battery, 48 volt. They are wired in tandem, so they both run together. You can opt to just run one battery. If you don't want to carry the extra weight with you, you could take this battery off, and you could just shut the power off as well. And then you won't have to carry both batteries. You could just run with one. And I think it's kind of cool because, you know, if I could configure this thing to pull the battery off, if I'm just going to be in town and I'm not going to go too far, I'd rather have like a little tank bag inside of here. But this bike is configured for long range, okay? And like I said, the website suggests 120 miles on it. Realistically, if you're just going to be gunning all throttle at full speed, I've seen people get about 38 to 40. And I would say, realistically, you're probably going to get around 80 miles on a full charge on this. In ideal, perfect conditions, yeah, you probably could get that 120 that the website suggests. So anyways, moving down, take a look at the banana seat. The banana seat, guys, is very, very comfortable. It's got like a soft foam here, and you can constantly slide and adjust yourself, right? So as you're going for long cruises, you can, you know, when your backside gets kind of sore, just a slight little slide back right here is going to make a big difference in you being able to adjust yourself for more ride time. And it's got a little bit of a slope in the back right here, okay, which kind of like, you know, conforms to your bottom, which, I mean, seat wise, guys, all I got to say about that is very, very comfortable. Okay, starting with the back, you've got the rear shock. It does come with a kind of like a triple tree dual crown front shock action here. There is no adjustment on it. Okay, normally you would have a preload and you would have some type of a, you would have some sort of a dampening on this side right here. These are non-adjustable. These are just set up right, like right in the middle. You know, they took the softest and the hardest setting and they put it right in the middle. And guys, it's very, very comfortable. Coming back on down here to the Shimano, you're going to have a 750 watt motor. There are 7 speeds on here. This is a Shimano cassette, and it's going to be the Tourney derailleur that's on the bottom here. I was looking for that the other day. Where does it say it? It's right there. It says Tourney. Tourney derailleur system, anti-corrosive chain. It does have this quick disconnect here with the motor, because if you happen to have a split tire or a blowout, you're going to have to remove this tire in order to access the inner tube, and being able to unclip it right here as opposed to having this wire run in the frame and go all the way up, causing a lot of problems. You're able to quickly disconnect this right here and get this off the bike, fix it, lock it back in place, and get back onto the road. Taking a closer look at these tires right here, guys. These are the Chaoyang Hippo Skin. See, the 3mm Hippo Skin, that's what it says right there. And what that means is that we just got an extra layer of protection right in this puncture area right here to help with any kind of punctures that come in from the road. Because like I said, the main problem is you're not going to be getting flats on these guys. It's the stuff in between, all this real estate that's in between here that is exposed to little teeny nails and thorns and so forth like that. But with that Hippo Skin 3, you're going to get that extra layer of added protection. Now this is a 20-inch wheel, okay? The 20-inch wheel by 4-inch wide tire. This is going to be like a mid-size bike. Spinning around here, guys, let's take a look at the brakes. You're going to have 160mm disc brakes on here with manual mechanical brakes. A lot of people make a big deal out of these here, guys. But the mechanical brakes, to me, you know, coming from a mechanic's point of view, I like technology, but I don't like too much technology. You know, the hydraulic brakes, I could take or leave them. I've never had a problem yet with hydraulic brakes, but I can tell you this, when you do have a problem with hydraulic brakes and they start leaking and you've got to bleed them and put oil in them, man, they could just be a hassle. However, with the mechanical brakes, what do you need to do? Undo a bolt, pull the cable, tighten the bolt, and you're on your way. So from a mechanic's point of view, especially for people that don't want to be, you know, messing around with bikes, trying to fix them all the time, you want to come out and actually ride them around, I like mechanical brakes, to be honest with you. And these serve the job just fine. All right, guys, so coming up to the display right here, you know, displays to me are important, and then again, they're not. It's kind of a catch-22. Sometimes they can be very colorful and have all this stuff, and it doesn't even tell you the basic information that you need. This right here is a very basic black and white display, but it's placed easy. It's easy to read. You have your miles per hour, your power assist levels here on the right, your battery indication, and your trip meter, okay? Adjusting your power assist is something as simple as up or down, and your power button is in the center. So if you go up or down, you can see the power assist levels change all the way up to 5, and you can go into your P settings here, which are the master settings, and adjust them and bring them down. Normally out here at Lake Mead, I'm probably just going to cruise between 2 and 3 because it's all about the cruise here. It's not all about the speed. And if you want to toggle through the settings here, you're going to have your trip meter. You're going to have your volts. This is very important to me, guys. The volts gives me a very, very concise look at how much battery power I truly have. Yes, this reference right here is nice. We like graphic references, but to have the ability to see a graphic reference as well as a voltmeter numerical number, combine those two together, I get an in-depth understanding as to how much true battery power I have left. Clicking over, we're back to the odometer again. So guys, it's very simple. Odometer, trip meter, voltage, and you're back to odometer. So you're not like overwhelmed by all of these settings. And the power button is right in the center. You hold it down for 2 seconds, the power display goes off. Hold it down for 2 seconds again, the power display comes on. All right, you do have a headlight button here, turn signals, and a horn. So a headlight, you'll just click this on right here, and you'll get this really nice, look at it, even in broad daylight, you got this real nice little halo situation going on. All right, then we also have the turn signals here. If you hit the left turn signal, you will see the left indicator glow. And of course, the right signal, you'll see the right signal glow. And if you spin around to the back, you see the integrated turn signals in the tail light as well. Right turn signal and left turn signal, okay? And it also should have an integrated brake light, as you can see right there. We do have a tail light, so you have tail light, headlight, integrated brake light, turn signals front and rear, all included. And then what we have here is the horn is actually integrated into the back of the light and is very loud. All right, and coming over to the right, guys, your throttle is going to be a half throttle. Some of them come with a thumb, and some of them come with a half throttle. I mean, you know, preferences vary. I find the thumb throttle to be a little bit tiring if you're going to be going for, you know, long distances and so forth. You know, trying to find that right angle on your throttle could be kind of tiring, where here you can pretty much twist it and you just kind of lock it with your angle of your wrist, and then the bike will hold that position for you. Coming up top here, you guys are going to have the 7-speed Shimano index shifter, which is the thumb shifter, which is what you normally find on bikes of this range and this price range. Oh yeah, one thing to mention is that you have a power on-off switch over here, which is pretty cool. It's kind of satisfying to have that right there, because you can't turn your bike on without having this key in it. You can play with this thing all you want, but it won't power on unless you have this key, which you can put inside here, and you twist it. Now it's unlocked, and then you can turn your power on. So yeah, overall, guys, you know, when we take a look at this bike, let's go ahead and get the price knocked out. The price on this bike is $1,100, okay? Last time I checked, I think it was $1,149. So for me, guys, how they were able to cram all those features into this bike and keep it right at that price range is an amazement to me. But the biggest question is, how does this bike ride? Well, we're going to go ahead and jump on these trails right now, and I'm going to give you my impression as to how this bike rides. We're going to go all the way down to the marina down here. We're going to do an incline test, and then we're going to take it all the way down through the campground, head over to the other harbor, and we're just going to take it through the trails and see just how does this bike perform. How is the braking? How is the acceleration? How is the pedaling like? And we'll see if this bike is a fit for you. So let's get to it. Alrighty, guys, so let's go ahead and get going on down here towards the boat launch at Hemingway Harbor, and we will give you an assessment here of how the ride quality of this bike is, acceleration and so forth. I can feel the suspension just soaking up all these bumps. Look at that, just no power at all from my pedal, just taking the coast. So we've got an 18-degree slope coming down this marina right here. We're doing about 23 miles per hour, just coasting, coming down, hitting the brakes, no noise on the brakes at all. Mechanical brakes, guys. Okay, it's not the hydraulic situation that everybody craves about. You got to have that hydraulic. I really, you know, I've tried them both, and I've seen them both do pretty much the same thing, so I could go either way on that. But anyways, guys, we're going to be coming down here to the boat launch, and then we're going to do an acceleration test here to see just how this thing climbs. I'm not expecting too much on the climbing, because as far as power and climbing ability, I don't think this bike was really designed for that, for the most part. I believe it's more of a, you know, city tour type of a bike, with the option of being able to cruise off-road into the dirt and manage that as well. But we're gonna go down here and take a look at these guys launching their boats, which is cool. We come down here to the launch. Doesn't say you can't bring your bike. Here we are, guys. At the boat harbor, launch ramps on e-bikes. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and start right about here. 18-degree slope on this. 18-degree slope on this, and I'm gonna pump this thing up to power assist level 5. So we have the most power that we can get from the motor. I'm not gonna do any type of pedal assist, strictly throttle, and we're gonna see, you know, how quickly does this bike accelerate, how easily can it handle inclines, and how fast can we get? So let's go. 1, 2, 3, let's move it. Not particularly fast at climbing. Very slow, gradual incline. Like I said, this is Power Assist 5 unlocked, Class 3, and we're at 13 miles an hour here, guys, going up a 18-degree slope. We are climbing though. 14, 15. How high can we actually get on Power Assist 5? It's about 17 miles per hour coming up this slope on Power Assist 5. Which, like I said, based on the other reviews that I've seen on this bike, it did not really say that it has a whole lot of climbing ability. So if you're looking for a bike that does a whole lot of climbing, which has a bunch of torque, this is probably not gonna be the bike for you. All right, guys, so here we go again. We're gonna do this bike run again, but we're gonna do it with some powering with our pedals and see. Full throttle with the power assist and pedaling. And we are getting the speed up there a little bit quicker. 17, 18, 19. So if you actually combine it with some pedaling, you'll actually get a little bit more power. So yeah, we got about 19.6 on this, and I'm starting to over pedal now. So, like I said, guys, it's not the biggest torque monster, and it's not the biggest acceleration beast as far as the uphill climb is concerned. But downhill, it's not restricted at all. We're 30, 31 miles per hour coming downhill. Now, when it comes to pedaling, guys, yeah, this bike is going to be more for like touring and using this throttle. And as far as pedaling the bike, I don't see myself doing very much of that, simply because the leg positioning of my legs are too long. The legs come up too high and they don't get a full extension on the push down. So it's, it's not very comfortable, and I don't intend to do very much pedaling. But thankfully, I shouldn't have to do much of that, simply because of the dual range of these batteries here. But take a look at this view out here, guys. We are looking at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and as long as you're moving on the e-bikes, guys, you're gonna generate a breeze. Even if there is no breeze, you're gonna be getting whatever breeze blows across the lake blowing back on you, and it's just a wonderful breeze, keeps you nice and cool. Alrighty, guys, so I just had this little situation down here where I was asking Marina, I'm like, hey man, is my bike flat? Because I'm feeling that the tire is like really spongy, just low on air. And out here in the middle of nowhere, you know, I didn't have any way to fill up this thing with air. But I have this little device right here by Psych Plus, which is like the size of a cigarette. And you just screw this little teeny hose on right here, right? It's about the size of a cigarette. You screw this little hose on right here, and you'll just turn it on and set it for the PSI that you need. Like right now, I'm just setting it for 20 PSI, and you just screw this thing in right here. And it says I've got 6 PSI in it right now. And I just need to get it up to around 20. And it should automatically cut off right at 20. We're at 15 right now. 17, 18, 19, 20. I should have all the pressure that I need now. Yep, perfect, man. 20 PSI. Put this thing, I don't know how the air got so low, but it was feeling kind of like squishy in the rear, but now I got the full 20. And you know, this little Psych Plus right here, you know, Psych Plus sent me this thing out a while ago. Yeah, it's a good idea to have something like this in here. Like I said, if you treat your tires with the slime, right, if you ever get like a flat because of a nail or a thorn or something, you just pull the object out of your tire and you'll start to hear it hiss, but then that sealant will flow into that hole. It will seal it for you, and then your bike tire will be low on air, and then just one of these two devices here will air you back up to the appropriate PSI that you need, and you're back on your way. Brake test coming at you. We're gonna try to bring it up here to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There you go. And that's mechanical brakes for you guys. So it doesn't really matter whether it's hydraulic or mechanical, man. If you really put the pressure on those brakes and you hammer on them, it's gonna lock up that rear tire. And as you can see here, guys, we've got a good amount of skid here. I think we started the skid. The skid looks like it started like right here. Boom. And as you can just see the trail right up to the back end of the bike right here, we have a good 15, I'd say 15, 20 feet of skid. So that's not going to be on the brake. The clamping power of the brake is absolutely fine. What it comes down to is the traction of the tread of the tire. Thank you, hon. So we're back up on the visitor center trail again. Now you can go left here and go towards the dam and ride the tunnels if you take this little trail, or you can go right, which what we did down here to go to the marina. And then we're gonna go ahead and go straight over here because there's a little tunnel and it's already showing 106 degrees here, if you could just catch that. 106 on the Fahrenheit meter. But we're gonna go ahead and head over here to the right. There's a little tunnel and it'll let us run out to Boulder City. And we like to do the Boulder City Trail because of all of the desert blooms that we normally can get. And it's kind of up along the mountainside, which gives us a nice venue of the lake. So here we are, guys. You can go left to the tunnels, or you can go right to the Boulder City Trails here. And we're gonna go ahead and take the right and go to Boulder City Trails. And guys, so far I have put on this bike 13 miles on the top tank only, and I've lost about 1 bar. Yeah, 13 miles on this thing. I've lost 1.5 bars of power on the top tank. Now I am seeing some battery sag, which sometimes it says that it'll drop 2 to 3 bars. And that's if I'm just constantly climbing up a hill on throttle. You'll see that battery bar drop an extra bar, which is like, it kind of worried me there for a minute. But when I let off and I allow the battery to breathe again and get its wind back, it'll bring that bar back up to me. So right now, 13 miles with only 1 bar down on the top tank. And I have not even turned on the bottom battery yet. So here, guys, I've got this nice little incline where I'm with Maria climbing up around this bend. This is at least an 18-degree slope. And we're getting about 19. I was able to get 20 miles per hour coming up this slope, which is pretty surprising. But that's because I have both batteries engaged. If I reach down and shut the one lower battery off and I run off the top battery, you know, as you get down towards the bottom capacity of the battery, you feel the power get a little bit sluggish. But that's the reason why you have two of them. You run them both on in tandem, you'll always have that torque and power running both batteries on. Then you don't get as much battery sag if you keep both batteries running together. Got some awesome handling on this bike right here, guys. High-speed S's through here. These curves are pretty mean. So take a look at this turning radius here. This turning radius is so tight. This is probably one of the tightest turning radiuses of any bike, and I'm surprised that a triple tree dual crown fork can turn like this. So you know what? Jansno's done some good jobs when it comes to engineering a bike that can turn on a dime like that. Lovely. And like, this is my most favorite part of riding the upper trails up here, is catching this majestic view. And I would not be able to do that on regular bikes. I would have never made it up this slope, you know, but with the e-bikes here, guys, you know, I can enjoy seeing something like this that I never knew was even back here. But just catching this majestic view like this, guys, you know, these e-bikes here are absolutely wonderful for that. And I encourage you folks to get on out here. If you are thinking about getting yourself an e-bike, come ahead and do so. And then come right out here and enjoy views like this along these trails. They're free, they're wide open. And guys, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning right now. You know, we got up at about 4:30. And, you know, you're not going to be able to do this in the height of the summer. It does say right now this is about 106 degrees. But as long as you're moving and you've got a breeze blowing on you, it is like a bearable, nice bearable 90 degrees out here. And I can deal with that as long as I have a breeze blowing on me. And these e-bikes make it all possible. Alrighty, guys, so now comes the time for my pros and cons of this bike. What I like about it, what I dislike about it. I'm going to start with the 5-star rating on it. Number one 5-star rating on this thing would be the comfort. Okay, the comfort of this bike right here is a combination of having dual suspension. They've got that dialed in right in the middle right here, guys, where you don't need to adjust it. Just jump and ride. The saddle, they've re-engineered this saddle here. Long kind of banana seat style with a little flip up on the back. It's going to give you the opportunity to slide your weight back and forth on this bike to give you a break so you can go extended range. The second 5-star rating that I give this bike is going to be in the range department, okay? When I was riding the bike with just the top battery and the bottom one not activated, I was seeing power sag on this thing to where the bar meter here would show like 3 bars and it would jump back to 4 bars and jump down to 3 bars. And that was with the one battery. And I was kind of wondering, you know, I didn't do any pedaling today, man. Mostly I just wanted to see what it would do with just straight throttle. I gave it no pedaling, hardly ever. And I got like, let me see, what's the total miles I got on it? I got about 20 miles on the bike. And I seen the power bar go from 5 to about 3, and then it would just keep bouncing from 4 to 3, 4 to 3. So I was seeing battery sag in just the top battery alone. But when I reached down and turned on the lower battery and had them running in tandem, then my voltage shot back up to 52, and then the battery bar, as you can see right here, is right back up to 5 bars, okay? So with 20 miles on the bike, I still see 5 bars on it. And like I said, for the most part of it, we were climbing up these hills and trails here, and I was just on the throttle the whole time. So far as range is concerned, I do believe that you're going to be seeing around 40 miles of range on both of these if you're just strictly throttle wide open at 28 miles per hour top speed on it. However, if you're going to be doing some combination of pedaling with the battery, you can see anywhere between 80 to 100. 120 is what the site says. I don't know if it'll do that. I believe that you'll be close, very close, okay? The next thing that I like on this, guys, is the tires. I felt very comfortable with these tires and the stability as I was turning and making those cuts on the road. A lot of times the nimbleness of a bike feels sluggish and heavy. This bike is very nimble. So when I give it handling wise on the bike, I would give it a 4 stars out of 5 as far as handling. The only situation that I had on here where I didn't give it high ratings on is just going to be on hill climbing and acceleration. This is where this bike really lacks. But because it's heavy and you've got dual batteries and you've got this heavy frame, you know, that's to be expected. So on a scale of 1 to 5, as far as climbing and speed, I'm going to give this thing like a 2.5 to 3. So if you're looking for a bike that's going to be primarily for climbing, or you want a really quick bike that can just, you know, take off the line, this is not going to do it for you. The X50 to me was a much faster bike off the line and was a lot better in hill climbing. So in conclusion, guys, you know, is the Jansno X70 worth the $1,100 asking price that they're asking for the bike? Well, that's not for me to decide, that's for you. In my opinion, if you're looking for a bike that you could just use throttle and you're going long range, then yes, it may be worth it. If you're looking for a bike that's going to be something that you want to pedal on a daily basis and you've got a lot of hilly terrain, probably not. But anyways, Jansno does have a discount coupon that I just recently saw on the website. It's in a little pink box and it's for $100 off. So I do believe that the going price on this bike right now is $1,149, but with that discount code, it'll bring you down to $1,049. So if you guys have any more questions or concerns, or you need more features and you want to read up on this bike, you can go ahead and go to the website. I'll have a link down in the description below where you can go ahead and take a look at the Jansno. There's 2 models there. There's the X50 and the X70. I had a chance to ride the X50. I like that bike a lot. For me, I would probably go with the X50 because I don't need the range of dual battery. And I do believe because the X50 was a lot lighter of a bike, it was quicker and it climbed better, and that would be the bike for me. However, if you're looking for a bike with range, class 3, 28 miles per hour, then this bike may be the one for you. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out here. We're hitting at about 108 degrees. Maria was with me. She took off and said she can't take the heat no more. She's inside the visitor center. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it right here. Guys, thank you so much again. If you guys found this information beneficial, useful, or even entertaining, and you guys like videos like this, please do me a kindness, guys. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we will be back out here doing more reviews and more Lake Mead water reports. I'm Joey, you're watching VegasDtech. You guys have a wonderful afternoon and be well. Bye now. And just like that, guys, we're up to 110. Time to go.